Yo, we're back with another sampler video. Bringing it back. Let's take a look at the Roland SP-555. I've wanted one of these bad boys for a while, but the supply has been scarce and the prices on Reverb are insane sometimes. I wanted to play around with the loop capture mode. I thought it would be a good pairing with some of my other samplers and sequencers. While there are some caveats, it can be a pretty good time. Surprisingly, I found this one a few months ago when I was browsing Craigslist. I sent an email to the person who was selling it, and I met up about 45 minutes away from my house. They gave me a free bag with it, but it was a little bit gnarly. I still appreciate it though. On the outside it looks like an SP-404 on steroids. From my experiences with it, it is. It has a bit more focus on live performance and layering with the way it works. Some of the expanded effects are really awesome as well. I won't go through the whole list in this video, but the lo-fi compressor is awesome, and I use it later with Koala. It takes the CF card format for storage. I've not been able to get a bunch of the ones I have to work with it. I'm doing just fine with a 512 megabyte card though. I think there's a firmware update out there, but Roland's site seems a bit broken with some of the downloads. This includes the wave converter, so be forewarned. I just pulled this off the shelf so it's a little bit dusty. One of my favorite features is the loop capture. It kind of works like a mini recorder. You set what you want to record source-wise and it'll let you record a loop in. Set it to auto start and then press record when you want the loop to stop. I have noticed that even in the free mode there's a limit of how long of a loop that you can use. Once the loop is recorded, the play button will light up and the loop will sit there. You can then start adding layers onto what you already recorded, which is pretty awesome. Even if it is limited, once you have the loop and all of its elements the way you want, you can hit a send to pad button and the SP will record what's in the play button to whatever pad you select, kind of like advanced resampling. There is a pattern sequencer that is pretty much the same as the SP-404, but I'm going to be honest, if it's not a Mark II, I don't really use the sequencer. Just like all of their SPs, you have your standard 3-knob FX controls for the plethora of effects included in the box. The entire list is right above the loop capture section for reference. The pads are velocity sensitive, but in no way, shape, or form as sensitive as like a new 404 MK2 or an MPC. I tend to use these ones at fixed velocity. There are all the standards we have on the OG 404 like resampling and straight recording to a pad, lo-fi and stereo switches for your incoming samples. Roland does have a V-Link button on here. I think that was used for a certain line of easily connectable devices that they developed back in the day. Another really interesting inclusion on the 555 is the XLR connection. That also takes a 1/4-inch instrument cable in the top left. They really built this thing with the anticipation that it was going to be used to loop a lot of stuff. You can add the effects onto this input and can get some pretty good vocal effects running a mic through it. Pretty standard fare on the back panel, RCA inputs and outputs, a pedal input, USB connection, power switch, and DC in. There is a MIDI in and MIDI out, but I don't usually control any of the SPs I have with MIDI. I use them mostly as effects or looper boxes. I know you're supposed to be able to connect it to your computer to transfer samples with the 555 wave converter, but it's not really the use case for me, so I can't comment accurately on it. Roland also wouldn't let me download it. If any of you guys use this as a main machine, let me know in the comments if it will work on Windows 11 or the latest Mac OS. I would like to try it just for science. There's something nostalgic about the boot up and the glowing red circle for a screen. You do get a lot of tempo and volume information from it, but I've always wondered why they chose a circle. I mean, it's kind of weird. It's a square inside a circle, but I've never really gotten it. I don't know why they stuck with that design for the MK2 404s as well. I feel like if that was just like a square screen, you could fit a lot more on it, but what do I know? Overall, I think it's a great machine if you can find a working one in decent condition for a decent price. Most people that ask me about samplers, I point them towards the newer version of the 404, if that's kind of what they're looking for. Since the new 404 came out though, it seems like the markets have calmed down on people trying to sell these for inflated prices. I like the familiarity in the way it works. As someone mentioned in a comment on the 606 video, the D-beam is a great party trick. And you'll find the same functionality on this unit because it has one right at the top. I think if you find one for a good price, you shouldn't hesitate to grab it. especially if it's like fully working and everything's good. There's always a spot for an SP in a signal chain, I think. I would not buy it as an introduction machine though. Mostly just based on its quirks and CF card format. Those are becoming more and more unreliable in my experience, especially the no-name brand ones you can find on Amazon. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to run some koala sequences into it and capture them as loops. I'm also going to sample a couple one-shots and see if I can come up with some kind of composition for the end here, make it a little bit more interesting. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'll probably never get used to saying something like that because I don't really do stuff for clout, but I appreciate everyone that watches these videos. Everyone that's joined the Discord, it's only a few people. I'll be posting some links to our online vinyl store so you can buy cheap sample records.